Shalom, shalom, shalom. I am your friend Jody from Malhut Advance with another word of encouragement for you. Let me know if you are hearing me clearly. Morning, morning, morning. Boker Tov, Boker Tov. This morning I want to share from Joel 2 verse 28. Morning Malhut, please let me know if you're hearing me loud and clear. Morning, morning. Are you hearing me loud and clear? So this morning I want to share from Joel 2 verse 28, awesome, and Acts 2 verse 2. So Joel 2:28 says, "After this I will pour out my spirit on all humanity." And Acts 2 verse 2 says, Suddenly there came a sound from the sky like the roar of a violent wind, and it filled the whole house where they were sitting. So as you know, we are preparing for that great day. We are preparing for the 50th day, that day which is called Shavuot, otherwise known as Pentecost. We're still counting the Omer. Why? Because we are expectant, we are excited, we are just happy for what God will do on the 50th day on the 50th day. Joel 2 verse 28 and Acts 2 verse 2 tells us, in previous occasions what God did on the day of Pentecost. And he desires to do such pouring out, right? Joel 2 speaks of God pouring out himself, right? Pouring out who he is, pouring out of his spirit. Now, when we think of pour, the word pour, P-O-U-R, it means shapak in Hebrew. What does this mean? A gushing, a flowing, pouring out from his heart, his intentions, what he really wants to do. Now, if we read the book of Joel, chapter 1 and 2, we will see where Joel the prophet, was speaking about what God will do on the great day. So there were the children of Israel faced judgments as a result of their rebellion and idolatry. They were given the opportunity to repent, and after repent, God would have brought restoration to them, right? A part of the restoration is the pouring out of his spirit, right? The pouring out of his spirit, equipping the Israelites, equipping the mixed multitude, equipping his covenant people to just do what he requires. Morning, Jermaine, good morning, right? In Acts 2, when we read Acts 1, Acts 2, we see where the people at that time were told to wait for something, because something would happen, right? And they went in the upper room, 120 persons, they waited, and God poured out, right? God continues to pour out. That's why we continue each year to observe Shavuot, observe Pentecost, because we too are expectant in our generation. We're expectant for God to move, right? For God to do something. Now, Numbers 11 verse 29 tells us that God poured out as well. So it was Moses' desire for God to pour out on all flesh, on every person. That was his desire. And so we see where Moses' desires came to pass, were met in Joel 2:28 and in Acts 2 verse 2. And his desires will also be met in our time, the year 5783, in 2023, right? God will pour out. Now it would mean that if God, since we have examples, previous examples of God pouring himself out, pouring out his spirit. Now listen, his spirit speaks to his breath, who he is, right? So when God pours out, when God blows, he give of himself.